Hi guys, it's Hani here, and today I'm going to show you how I cookified the most popular campfire treat. We're going to make s'mores cookies. In this project I used my sugar cookie dough recipe, and to decorate I'm using royal icing. Both of these recipes can be found on my blog hanielas.com. Link is in the description box under the video. And now let's get started with today's tutorial. If you don't have a cookie cutter, you can also use a paper template to cut out your cookies, or if you have this gift box cutter, you can utilize this cutter to make your s'mores shapes, and then use the same cutter to make an indentation in a cookie before you bake it off. And this indentation is going to be our guide, and it's going to make decorating a breeze. I also decided to make my own cutter from an old round cookie cutter that I haven't used in ages, and so I used pliers to shape it into a large s'mores shape. It wasn't perfect, but it worked really well for the project, and I'm definitely going to use this cutter again in the future. So if you have some metal cutters laying around, don't toss them away, not yet, because you don't know, you may end up using that cutter to make a shape that you need for a cookie decorating project. Just use some pliers and reshape it to the shape that you want. Now to decorate, we're gonna start by icing the top and the bottom portion. This is the graham cracker section. So to make the graham cracker, I'm using 2 shades of brown that I tinted with just a touch of orange. And for this long narrow section, I'm using 22nd consistency royal icing. If you are new to cookie decorating and have no idea what I just said, you can check out my detailed post that covers royal icing consistency, how to thin royal icing, what 15-22nd consistency is, how it's used in cookie decorating. Link to that post is in the description box under the video. And now we're gonna let that crust, and after it's crusted we can flood the top portion. I'm using a lighter shade of that brownish orangey color. It's not completely terracotta, but it's somewhere between there. And I'm using 15-second consistency to flood this section. Now I'm going to do what's called wet on wet, piping icing directly onto the wet icing. And for this I'm using, ideally you want to use 15-second consistency, but I used 20-second because I already had a bag for my chocolate layer, and so I didn't feel like thinning it down and putting it into a second bag. And these are just some tiny dots and they will sink right in, so it's not really necessary to have 15-second for this wet on wet. I'm going to dust the top with some cinnamon sugar. And now we can add chocolate layer. So I'm using 20-second consistency dark brown royal icing to make the chocolate layer. You can also flavor your royal icing with flavorings. Make sure that you use either water-based or alcohol-based flavors. And in addition to extracts, you can also use cocoa powder. I like to add 1 tablespoon per 1 cup of royal icing. Try not to add more cocoa powder than that because it can interfere how royal icing dries. Allow icing to crust, and then we can add the marshmallow layer. To make the marshmallow layer, I'm using white royal icing, 20-second consistency. Let it crust, and then we can add the top chocolate layer. Usually I use meringue powder to make my royal icing, but if you can't find meringue powder, you can also use fresh egg whites or liquid egg whites. And you can find both recipes on the blog. Link is also in the description box under the video. And here are the finished cookies. I think these turned out so cool. I love that we have the mini s'mores and then the regular size s'mores. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notified about my new uploads. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.